Welcome everyone. Today we'll talk about the generic competency model exclusively for leadership role, and this is applicable to any and every organization. So yes, generic competency model for leadership role in any organization is the topic for this particular video. So we'll talk exclusively about leadership competency model, the requirement for it, the importance for it, and what needs to be done. So, very well, this is the agenda for the presentation. We will define the competencies as far as leadership is concerned. We will define the attributes that makes a person successful in a leadership position. We'll try to understand what the business is demanding, what changes needs to be incorporated, how we need to prepare ourselves for being resilient to their changing environment, and probably future orientations. Probably we talk about succession planning, leadership in pipeline, process identification, and how do we fix people in the as per the pre-designed missions and visions of the company. Provide alignment to a culture, descriptive, differentiated, and observable. Allow our current leaders to grow with future and prepare future leaders altogether is the crux of this model as the leadership competency model is concerned. So we need to understand how existing people are going to grow and what kind of leadership position that they will be actually handling around it, and probably preparing the existing employees for good responsible position in due course of time. So what are we talking about it? We're talking about dreamings. We are talking about peoples. We are talking about culture. Dreams is what we aspire to be. What is our mission? What is our vision? How do we get out there? And can we get it out there all by ourselves? Probably no. We require teamwork. We require people. We require right people at the right time, at the right roles, ensuring that they have the requisite capabilities. Probably that is where we can achieve our vision. But this alone could not be successfully accomplished until and unless we have a culture established in our system, in our organization. So yes, we're talking about dreams, peoples, and cultures per se. So we talk about dreaming big, developing people, and thriving on the culture, on a vibrant culture. This will provide nothing but big result. This will provide nothing but success. This will ensure that we at the pinnacle of the organization, pinnacle of the industry altogether. So dreaming big is turning dreams into reality. Not only dreaming, but ensuring that our dream sees the light of the day, thinking about the next best opportunity, preparing for the future ahead of time, and moving with agility. Whereas developing people is all about identifying the right person, the right people, giving the right talent, grooming them up, inspiring them, motivating, and probably impacting and influencing their cultures thereby. Living our cultures is drive execution, strive for excellence, and demonstrate resilience as the case might be. This is exactly what we are looking for and interested in. So, yes, essentially speaking, there are three competencies, nine components of competencies and behavior that needs to be distinguished by the leaders level, that needs to be understood and mimicked and probably emulated by every one of our three competencies and the nine component of competencies thereby. So we are talking about dreaming big. What about our reality, where we are, what where do we want to be? That's what a dream is all about. It dream is not only a fictional criteria or probably something that is part of imagination, but ensuring that imagination becomes a reality in due courses of time. Thinking of the next best opportunity is identifying the trends, probably elongating the trends and ensuring that you are staying ahead of the curve. That can only be done when we are being agile, we are being dynamic, where we are thinking onto the ever changing world. Developing people is growing talent, developing future leaders by recruiting, developing and retaining the very best of the people, ensuring these people remain motivated, remain inspirational, remain uh, committed towards the goals of the organization, by doing small things, celebrating great achievement, treating people with respect, and probably promoting our vibrant cultures of transparency, thereby act with impact and influences, drive internal and external collaboration with colleagues, partners, and vendors, make things happen beyond reporting lines. Live our culture is all about drive execution, champion ownership culture through accountability, consistent delivery on result, and always making decision with a sense of urgency. Strive for excellence, never satisfied with the result, always looking for ways to improve without compromising quality, longer term success, as the case might be. We talk about demonstrating resiliences, maintaining performance in the face of uncertainty or adversity while caring for oneself and others, as the case might be. Now, what are the competencies model for leadership? First and foremost is by levels. Different levels, if you want to go around it. We can have leader level 1 or LL1, leader level 2 or LL2, leader level 3, L3, depending upon your organization size, types, and the industry you are operating upon it. You need to go around for the band. The band is pay band, it can be the responsibility band that it can be around it. The information availability, accessibility band, as the case might be, and goes on to show different levels of leaders at different bands of LL1, LL2, LL3. Let me go about dreaming big. Now, what do we do is we are running big. For LL1 is defining long-term objectives, creating game-changing opportunities, and driving change. But this might not be the same with LL2, leaders level 2. It might be translating the strategy into actions, encouraging innovation, making some changes here and there, managing those changes every now and then. LL3, on the other hand, is all about dreaming big, is not only aligning behavior with action, but bringing in new ideas and embracing changes thereby. So if we have been slotted for LL1, LL2, LL3 as far as dreaming big is concerned, then how do we go with developing people? We all understand. For LL1 is to create a talent strategy, inspire commitment, leverage network thereby. Network of human resource network that comes around it is all LL1, the leader level 1 strategy that goes around it. Whereas LL2 is developing talent pipeline, driving engagement and building networks time and again. What we are looking into it. LL3 is developing self and helping others, encouraging teamwork, collaborating across teams as the case might be. Why do we go around? And how do we go around for developing people? This is all about your employees, your staff, your team members, your co-workers, and then is all about the culture. Living by a culture in LL1 is setting the bar and driving the result thereby, challenging current practices, probably the process thereby, leading in the face of adversity, ambiguity. LL2, on the other hand, is all about delivering results, driving efficiency. We are talking about applying best practices, best solution, sustain them through performances, through adversity, through ambiguity. However, LL3 differs altogether by delivering, maintaining consistently every time, every moment, what we are talking about in terms of quality and responses to the customer, raising the bars of own performances, elevating it, staying focused and positive as the case might be. So essentially, if I want to have an examples of differentiation by level, in terms of dreaming big, LL1 would be defining the long-term strategic business. LL2, on the other hand, would be looking in the converting the strategy into action, and probably LL3 those action into behaviors, aligning behaviors, installing behaviors in people. For developing people, LL1 would be looking at just inspiring commitment, having that team spirit, spirit the corps. LL2 is all about driving engagement and encourage team members as the case might be. What we are looking forward to it. Live by a culture and lead the face of adversity and ambiguity thereby. LL2 is sustaining team performances through adversity. Gone are the cases. On the other hand, it is all about LL3, staying focused and positive, is where we install the culture and ensuring the culture doesn't get soiled every now and then, as the case might be. So these are the representing the standard that we hold each leaders to each level. Absolutely clear, the expectation for LL1, LL2, and LL3s are different, are aligned towards one another, but are circulated and works perfectly in silos. Remember, LL3 is with a strong leadership position, looking at the next level as the case might be. But this needs to be understood time and again. So, what is the detailed behavior of leaders level, if we may say so? Let me articulate into a sustainable roadmap for you to understand as to what is the long-term strategic views for LL1. Definitely, yes, we need to define sustainable strategies. Definitely, yes, we need to define exactly the steps, the plans that we are looking forward to. Acts as an owner by sacrificing a short-term personal targets when necessary in support of longer term strategies. LL2 translates strategies into actions. That means basically you're talking about strategies into clear, simple, scalable action and aligned targets as often as possible. Acts as an owner by sacrificing the short term targets when necessary in favor of long term result. Aligns behavior with action, demonstrate an understanding of team's direction, and puts in place with a short term action that will not sacrifice the future result per se. We talk about thinking big as a new opportunities. For LL1, it is a game-changing situation or game-changing opportunities. For LL2, it is all about innovations, all about changes, all about managing the changes thereby. But LL3 is bringing in new ideas. It is not innovation. It is almost discovering or identifying the new trends altogether. You are not. Innovation is all about processes, where you change the process here and there, tweak the process here and there, and come up with a product. But new ideas is completely a new paradigm that we are talking about. It's a blue ocean strategy or the red ocean strategy that comes around here. So you need to bring in different data sets as far as the consumer data are concerned, as far as the competitors data are concerned, and probably amalgamate them to come up with the new next opportunity that comes around it. So yes, LL1 is all about game changing opportunities, and this is where we are talking only nothing but the next big opportunity that we are trying to identify. LL1 thing is already identifying the opportunities that is there. LL2 is all about managing those opportunities via innovations, whereas LL3 is bringing new inventions, new discoveries, new trends, identifying them, and probably trying to capitalize upon it. It is the new ideas, is all about LL3 in terms of moving with agility. And I'm just concerned with dreaming big till now. LL1, once you have identified it, you drives the change. LL1 is exclusively into implementation of the changes thereby. LL2 is all about managing the change. Yes, definitely when there is a change, driving the change, there might be hiccups, there might be opposition, there might be problems that one company faces, but LL2 leaders are supposed to convert those problems into opportunities, and LL3 is where you are actually doing nothing but probably embracing the changes thereby. Now, let us talk about developing people in terms of growing talent. How do we go around it? LL1 looks at a strategy from where people can be sourced or what kind of people can be sourced. How do they bring on a solid team? Ensuring that people are already there out of their comfort zone and probably giving them timely and requisite feedback so that they can improve upon their performances. On the other hand, LL2 is all about the developing talent pipeline. What are they looking into? They are working in tandem with LL1 to recruit the right person, probably trying to build in a sense of camaraderie among the team members, providing a good feedback, vibrant feedback that is not only beneficial for the individual but all the company and the whole thing. On the other hand, LL3 is where they are developing self-helps, others always teaching around it, giving from their experiences, finding knowledge and domain insights and percolating it in down the organization, and that is what we are all should be striving for, and that is what is being required to do so. developing people in terms of inspiring and motivating. LL1 would be all about commitment, all about teamwork, all about commitment, ensuring whatever has the target has been set, ensuring that the target has been met. Remember to make people personally responsible and accountable for their engagement result. Give them, equip them with the requisite artifacts, facts, figures, equipment, opportunities, solutions, so that they can instill confidence and ensure they are enthusiastic towards working towards those targets per se. They are nothing but actually the proper display and embodiments of the organization culture is what LL1 is supposed to do it. LL2, on the other hand, would be driving engagement, ensuring that the person who is contributing the most has been recognized, is been made, emulated, and made to stand out of the crowd so that people can watch them and people can aspire to be standing along with that in that particular position. Act and talk with respect, being open not only to the person who or to the group of people who have achieved the target, but also the rest of the team members, because no matter what or who achieved the maximum, every member is contributing towards the bottom line of the organization. So they are nothing but ensuring a genuine concern for employees, and that is what the camaraderie or the team spirit can be brought in with LL2. LL3 is all about teamwork. It is all about celebrating the small wins. It is all about demonstrating what needs to be done and how it can be done. Acts as an ambassador for the culturally, internal and external motivation. Let's look with the continue with developing people and understand what is an impact and what is the influence that LL1 leaders, LL2 leaders, and LL3 leaders can go around it. First and foremost, LL1 leaders would leverage network, ensuring that there's a small network of vendors, small networks of customers, small network and loyal networks of customers, and loyal networks of employees that people can be drawn upon with it. Aligning stakeholders' interest with the rest of the people, because that is what is much more important. And when I say of the different stakeholder, it is not only the vendors, it is not only the internal customer, it is not only the external customer, it is not only the regulatory framework, every one of them. So LL2 is building those network of collaborating effectively in different geographies as to what are the best practices that has been done in different locales of the across the globe. Now this is what we are looking forward to. LL3 on the other hand will be collaborating with the teams, ensuring the timely feedback, communication abilities, building relationship, and helping each other out. If there are some differences, probably things gets improved upon it. Now let us live by culture. Let us come to the three aspects of drive execution. Remember, LL1 is the person or the leaders who are going to set the bars and drives the result because they are acting into it. So result plays of a primary importance, which will be moving with the excellence and exceeding expectations, taking personal responsibility of achieving the result, ensuring that tough decision has been made through, deliver results and drives efficiency, takes personal responsibility for achieving the result. And this is what LL2 leaders would be looking at: delivering result, driving efficiency. LL1 would be driving result, probably achieving them, but LL2 is going to make it more efficient, most cost uh, sensitive. Now, this is what efficiency is all about. It on the LL3 would ensuring once the result has been achieved, the result has been achieved within the proper domain, probably ensuring the cost effectiveness, properly ensuring the productivity concern, optimization of productivity. LL3 would love to install that system in place, which delivers constantly time in and time out, takes personal responsibility to ensure the quality of the works meets the expected expectation of both the internal and the external clients, customers, quickly grasps those complex issues and almost make a decision with a sense of urgency as the case might be. For striving for excellence is all about challenging the current practices and processes for LL1 leaders. Now, what is this challenge? This is where we are looking to improve upon ourselves, our set goals. If we have achieved that objectives of goals, probably can we do it in a shorter span of time? Never satisfied with the result, and that is what I'm trying to do around it. Can we drive it more out? Try to identify any gaps which can be filled in, structures which can be brought in. Spend quality time wherever things happen, be it marketplace, be it shop floor, be it internal customers. LL2 applies best practices and solution. Drive excellence program, best practice sharing. Probably in brief methodologies such as which identifies any performance gaps, probably giving them a little point of bird's eye viewpoint, which can ensure that quality time is spent on the focused areas as such, which improves the productivity concern. So LL3 is all about raising the bars for their own performances. Remember, we are looking to keep processes simple, keep things very clear. We are not trying to reinvent the wheel altogether, but we are essentially not copying everybody and probably sharing the best practices. Wherever possible, we need to do it. Definitely, yes, but we need to do it with our own added advantages, bring our own methods to go around it. LL3 is all about demonstrating resiliences. LL3 in resilience portion would be staying focused with whatever team has achieved by LL2 leaders through ambiguity, through adversity. LL1 would be leading the face of the adversity and ambiguity. If there are any differences, if there are any impediments, if there are any challenges while while performing or optimizing, probably LL1 would try to face them. LL2 would try to ensure that they have the requisite backups and support from the organization so that they can face it out there, and LL3 will ensure that things are being made available to them as on when on focus. So that is what living by the culture where everybody owns up the problem, where everybody is a part of the solution, and everybody is working in tandem with one another. We're talking about rating scales. Now this is what we can go around it. It's a 5 point rating scales where E is for exceptional and W for weaknesses. So we can talk about what we are good at it. Are we good, excellent, or are we relatively strength, or are we just about proficient and probably not so good or developing needs? So on a scale of 5, 0 being the minimum of weaknesses and 5 being on a scale of 5, 1 being weaknesses and 5 being exceptional. So we have weaknesses as one, development needs as that requires some sort of small improvement that needs to be required. Proficient is probably just about okay in terms of effectiveness, in terms of delivery part of it, but real strength is where we are highly effective, where we can give that wow factor. If we promise something, we can deliver it earlier than the promised date time. If we promise some quality, we can give an add-on quality factor that the customers are thrilled upon it. Exceptionals are giving doing things what has been done in a real strength basis on a continuous performance basis, and on a scale of 5, that's the achievable scale that one needs to emulate altogether. Yes, there are other questions that comes around it. Now we need to provoke those additional questions. Remember, when we do a self assessment, when we do an annual performance check altogether in the past 12 months, what were the hiccups, how can we improve, were there certain things that goes against us, and still how did we manage around it? Cultural non-negotiable negotiable question in terms of ethics and integrity. You don't touch anything and everything which is very sensitive towards the for the people. We just cannot compromise on safety. Remember, safety first for the employees is the motto for many companies, and responsible drinking. This is something which can be done beyond the bounds of the company when we are into certain kind of conferences, summit, and so other things where people might need to display certain behaviors. Obviously, yes, this is beyond the purview of the company's operation, but beyond it, we should maintain some form of formality out there. Remember, one thing which I want to say to you before I wind up this particular video is it is you who matters the most. It is you who is the center of the fulcrum. The competency framework should be owned by the employees. They should be supported by the managers and enabled by the public department. When I say public department, the general public per se. So it's a competency framework with the employees, with the managers, supported by the managers and people department. Remember, I'm talking about the leadership employees. So yes, you whatever you learn today, try to discuss it with your seniors, bosses, co-workers. Discuss those competency development with your peers. Give them the development plan, because this is the right time to grow your competencies. Today be the right thing. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you once again for watching this video till the very end.